slip to sleep, a place for calm, a place for gentle stories. Here, every word is meant to guide you slowly into rest. Take a moment now, adjust your pillow, let your body settle, breathe in and breathe out softly, and when you are ready, we will begin tonight's story. Close your eyes now and imagine the hush of water floating gently around you. The world above grows softer, dimmer, until it feels far away, as though wrapped in silk. You are descending, but there is no fear here. The current is kind. The ocean holds you, vast yet tender, endless yet calm. Before you lies a realm hidden from the noise of the living world, a place where time moves slowly, measured not by clocks or bells, but by the pulse of tides and the whisper of sand shifting on stone. This is the Sunken City, a sanctuary below the waves, where light bends and glimmers like scattered jewels. Within this city, there rests a library, not built of wood or steel, but of coral and stone, of arches shaped by ancient hands, softened by the patient work of the sea. It is called the Whispering Library, for here the currents carry voices, faint and endless, words of those who came long before. Their stories linger, not as noise, but as quiet impression woven into the deep. You are invited tonight to drift through this place, to leave behind the weight of the day, the clamor of thoughts, the burden of lists and worry. They cannot follow you here. In the deep, only stillness matters. Notice your breath. Inhale gently, steady and cool, as though drawing in the hush of water. Exhale slowly, as though releasing your cares into the current. With each breath, your body softens, your mind loosens, your heart finds quiet. Here, in the depths, you are safe. Here, the world above cannot touch you. The Whispering Library waits, its doors open, its secrets at rest. You do not need to seek them. You need only drift, listen, and allow them to come like shells settling on the sand. The journey begins with calm. The journey begins with trust. And soon it will carry you far from wakefulness into a sleep as deep and gentle as the sea itself. The descent begins slowly, almost like floating. Your body is weightless, carried downward by a current that feels more like a hand than a tide. Around you, the water glows rise faintly, touched by light filtering down from the surface. The beams bend, ripple, and break into shards of silver that dance like drifting lanterns. With every movement deeper, the noise of the surface fades. No chatter of the world, no alienness, no clocks, only the low hum of the sea and the rhythm of your breath, in and out, slow and steady. Notice how your shoulders ease. Notice how your jaw loosens. There is nothing to hold on to here, nothing to clench, nothing to resist. Ahead, the outline of the sunken city begins to form. At first, only shadows, but then, as your eyes adjust, you see walls half covered in coral, columns wrapped in swaying strands of seagrass, archways softened by centuries of tide. The city is vast, but it is silent. Streets stretch away, paved with stone, smoothed by currents. Doorways stand open, but no footsteps ever pass through them now. It is not empty though. It is filled with a presence, a hush, a patience, a memory that lingers like perfume in the air. Follow the path down a grand boulevard. Coral arches rise overhead, their shapes both natural and sculpted, as though ocean and human once worked side by side. Between the arches, fish drift slowly, their scales flashing like polished glass. Even they seem to move with reverence, as though the city itself asks for quiet. On the walls, faint carvings remain. You reach out, fingertips brushing the surface. The stone is cool, etched with patterns you cannot fully read. Yet, the moment your skin touches it, something stirs. It is not a voice, exactly, not words, but a feeling, like being remembered, like the city itself knows you are here and welcomes you. Take a breath, inhale the stillness, exhale the last fragments of your day. Step deeper into the city. The path winds past toppled statues, their features softened by centuries of waves. One is a scholar, mental veroscroa. Another is a guardian, holding a torch that no longer burns. They lean together, cradled by coral, embraced by the sea. Now you arrive at the threshold. A wide stairway leads downward, carved from stone that shimmers faintly in the filtered light. At its base, two doors stand open, taller than any tree, their edges covered in sea moss. This is the entrance to the Whispering Library. Beyond it, secrets rest like pearls, waiting, patient timeless. Pause here. Notice how your body feels. Light, loose, floating between wakefulness and dream. The doors invite you to enter, but there is no rush, or even at the threshold. Peace holds you, steady and whole. Step forward now through the open doors of the whispering library. They yield without sound, as though the sea itself has learned to respect silence here. Inside, the light is softer still. It filters down in narrow beams, trembling slightly as currents drift past. Dust does not float here, only particles of sand, tiny sparks that shimmer like fragments of forgotten constellations. The floor beneath your feet is smooth stone, worn to a sheen by centuries of water. Every step feels cushioned, every movement softened, as though the library itself wants you to walk gently. Rows of pillars rise on either side, tall and patient, their surfaces covered in delicate fans of coral. Between them, shelves emerge, their edges softened, yet still standing, as if unwilling to surrender their purpose. Upon those shelves lie scrolls, tablets, and tomes, each wrapped in strands of sea grass. Some are sealed tight, others opened slightly, releasing the faintest whisper when the current passes. Pause here, close your eyes, and imagine that whisper brushing against your ear. Not loud, not urgent, only gentle, as though the words themselves have chosen to rest until you are ready. Continue onward. The hallway stretches deep, a corridor of light and shadow. Above, the ceiling arches into a dome, painted long ago with signs of stars. Though faded, though half claimed by algae, they still glimmer faintly, as though remembering their shine. A fish darts by, scales catching the dim glow. It pauses, circles, yawns, then slips away between the shelves like a keyed guide. Deeper still, you pass beneath an archway, carved with symbols, eroded yet dignified. Your hand drifts along its surface, tracing spirals, waves, lines that echo both water and language. The hall widens. Before you opens a great chamber, its roof a fractured dome where sunlight filters through cracks and dances across the floor. Molds of light shimmer, moving with the sway of the sea, making the chamber seem alive, breathing. Here, the shelves are grander, reaching up to touch the curved roof. Many lean, yet none have fallen. It feels as if unseen hands continue to care for them, turning each elf upright, brushing each spine clean. Pause again, listen closely. The whispers are stronger here, not voices, but impressions, like someone humming just beyond hearing, or like the memory of a story told long ago. Walk slowly among the shelves. Your fingertips brush the edges of scrolls, and the sea stirs in response. One scroll unwinds slightly, a fragment of script shimmering in the dim glow. The letters do not speak, yet you feel their meaning. Rest, peace, release. As you move further, small alcoves open along the hall. Inside each, artifacts rest. A lamp, its flame replaced by a glowing pearl. Your tablet, its edges tipped, its center glowing faintly with blue light. These objects are not broken. They are dreaming, waiting, timeless. Take another breath. Inhale the calm. Exhale the last strands of wakefulness. The hall narrows again, guiding you like a river's course. At its end, a doorway stands, framed by stone, its lintel etched with spirals. Through it lies the deeper library, where the secrets wait, where the whispers grow into songs. Pause one last time. Feel your body sinking further into calm. Notice how heavy your eyelids are, how light your thoughts have become. Step forward now and let the sea carry you into the next chamber. The doorway opens like a held breath released, and the sea ushers you inward. This chamber is quieter, deeper, more intimate than the halls you crossed before. Light enters here in slender ribbons, trembling as the current brushes past. They settle over shelves and pedestals like silken veils, revealing, concealing, revealing again. A low table waits by the entrance, its surface smoothed by time, its edges softened by the sea. Upon it lies a cradle of coral, shaped like cupped hands. In that cradle, a single scroll, wound tight, wrapped in sea grass like a ribbon of green silk. You hover beside it, listening. The library speaks again, not with words, but with a feeling of old patience. You understand without knowing how. This is not a place for taking. It is a place for receiving. Breathe in softly, as though drawing the hush into your chest. Breathe out slowly, as though laying down every remaining weight. When your breath is even, the seagrass loosens by itself, unwinding gentlest sigh. The scroll opens a fraction, and a sliver of script gleams. The characters are unlike any you have seen, curved like waves, dotted like foam, laced with tiny lines like ripples at shore. You do not read them with the eyes. You read with the feeling that blooms beneath your ribs. A picture forms in the quiet, a room above the waves, long before the city sank. Lamps glow along the walls, steady and warm. Scribes sit at low desks, their hands moving in calm rhythm, copying lines as measured as a tide. Their faces are peaceful, their shoulders loose. You feel the breath in that room, slow and even, shared by all. One scribe lifts a jar of ink, a deep amber that catches the lamplight. They dip the brush, then set it down upon the page, and the line that appears is not just a word, but a kind of music. The vision softens, and the waterlight returns. The scroll closes by a gentle thought, as if it has given you just enough. Another shelf calls your attention. You drift toward it, passing a row of artifacts sleeping in their niches. A bronze seal rests there, its surface grained by the sea, yet its emblem still clear, a spiral within a circle, breath within breath, calm within calm. Beyond the seal, a collection of tablets lies stacked like quiet stones. When the current turns them just so, the edges glint. You lay a hand upon the topmost tablet. The stone is cool, but beneath the cool, a warmth looms, like memory waking. Again the library shares a fragment. A courtyard in soft afternoon light. Children of the city carry baskets of reeds and shells, laughing the way ripples laugh. An elder sits on a bench of pale stone, telling them the story of the first tide. Not a myth of thunder, not a tale of fear, but a gentle lesson in listening. Watch how the sea arrives, the elder says without sound. It does not argue with the shore. It comes, it rests, it returns. The vision settles like sand. Your body loosens further, as if the lesson were written into the muscles themselves. Deeper in the chamber, a narrow aisle glows faintly blue. You follow the color, passing beneath a series of low arches where translucent anemones wave like patient candles. At the aisle's end, an inner alcove opens, small as a breath, bright as a pearl. Here, the current is almost still. Only a gentle drip moves through, enough to float a strand of grass. enough to stir the edge of a page. On a pedestal rests a book bound in something that was once leather, now softened to the texture of sea silk. When you draw near, the cover responds, loosening without your hand. The book opens to a single leaf, and there, no letters, only a spiral of faint gold dots. At first you think of stars, then you think of breath, then you understand. It is a map of quiet. Follow the spiral with the mind's eye. Inhale along the widening curve, expanding toward the outer ring. Exhale along the narrowing path, returning toward the center. Again and again, until the body learns this roundness and the mind forgets how to cling. You feel the change arrive softly. Your brow is smooth. Your jaw rests heavy and kind. In the base of the neck, a knot unties by itself. The book closes with gratitude, and the pedestal releases a soft pulse of light, like a blessing. Turn now toward the chamber's heart. There, a circular space opens, ringed with low benches of stone. At the center rises a column of clear water, rising from a crack in the floor, falling again like a fountain that forgot to make sound. This is the scribe's circle. Here the keepers once gathered to listen before writing, not to dictate, but to receive. You settle on a bench. The stone meets you with surprising warmth, as if many calm bodies had left a memory of comfort in it. Place one hand on the belly, one hand on the chest. Let the breath be a tide. In for 3, pause for 1, out for 4, pause for 1. As you breathe, the column of water brightens. Within it, shapes begin to form, not images you can name, but motions you can feel. A curve, like the shoulder releasing, a line like the spine lengthening by kindness, not effort, a widening at the ribs, a softening at the hips. The library is showing you how to rest, not as instruction, but as a shared memory, a choreography of ease. Stay with the breath. Let the knees feel heavy. Let the ankles release their little guard. Let the palms grow warm against your own body, like 2 lanterns you didn't know you carried. A gentle presence nears, not a person, but the idea of a scribe returning to check the lamps. You sense a robe moving, a sleeve brushing stone, a patient kindness that asks nothing at all. In that kindness, your shoulders drop another measure. On the far wall, a cabinet stands partially open. Inside rest bundles bound with red thread, each labeled with a single mark. You drift to it, and a bundle lifts out, rising like a bubble, then settling into your hands. When the red thread loosens, a small folio slips free. Its pages are thinner than leaves, translucent, etched in gold dust. They turn by themselves, 1, 2, 3, until they find their place. On the open page, a scene as simple as breath, a terrace over the sea, evening last light, cups of warm tea laid out in a row. The librarians sit in silence, palms wrapped around the packed cups, eyes half closed. No one speaks, yet everyone hears the same thing. The sea saying yes again and again, in a language made only of waves. A line appears below the picture, drawn in the same gold dust. You cannot read it, and yet you know what it says. There is a time to gather, and a time to let the gathered rest. The folio closes on its own, light as sleep, and drifts back to the bundle. The cabinet door eases shut, a current's hand finishing the gesture. Return to the circle. The central column dims to a tender glow, the color of dawn seen through water. You lie along the bench now, side comfortable, knees loosely bent, one arm tucked like a small boat at rest. Begin a gentle body scan, guided by the whispers of the room. Forehead smooth, eyes heavy and kind, jaw unclenched, tongue resting low, back of neck soft, warmed by the memory of lamplight that once lived here. Across the shoulders, weight melting like salt in warm water. Arms loose ropes, floating, peaceful, just rising, falling like a tide that forgot how to hurry. Belly wide and forgiving, hips deep in their sockets, held without gripping, thighs warm, cubbies quiet, feet already dreaming of sand. Whisper to yourself, barely a breath, I am safe, I am welcome, I am held by the quiet that holds the sea. From somewhere behind the shelves, a tone begins, low, round, unbroken. It does not rise or fall, it simply is. The library's ground note, the pitch of rest. Let your breath join it. Let the exhale become slightly longer, like a ribbon unspooling. Count softly if you wish. In for 3, out for 4, or simply follow the feeling of a tide that knows knows it's sure. Now the whispers gather, not around your ears, but around your heart. They arrive as impression. A hand placing a finished scroll upon a shelf. A bell rung once to end the day. The last lamp turned low. The door drawn gently closed. These are not secrets of power. These are secrets of pace. The oldest wisdom this library keeps. Go slowly enough to hear the quiet say yes. You feel the yes settling through you. It collects behind the breastbone like warm light. It spreads into the shoulders, into the belly, into the hips, into the legs. Every place it touches becomes simple. Every place becomes soft. If a thought rises, let it become a bubble. Watch it float upward, thinner, lighter, until it fades into the blue. Not chasing, no holding, only watching it leave. The chamber dims another shade, and the current turns warm as a hand. You understand, the scribes are finished for the night. The library is tucking itself in. A final shelf waits by the exit arch. On it rests a small object, a pendant of glass filled with a thread of gold. When you lift it, the thread brightens, curving in a gentle spiral. Hold it against your pulse. Feel how the spiral and your heartbeat agree. They do not match by effort. They meet by kindness. Return the pendant to its place. Whisper, thank you, or say nothing at all. The library understands either language. When you turn toward the archway, the path beyond glows with a twilight blue. It leads toward quieter rooms, toward deeper ease, toward the tide that will carry you into sleep. Let your eyelids lower halfway. Let the mouth soften at the corners. Let the breath remain long and low. Say within once more, I am safe. I am welcome. I am ready to rest. And with that, drift through the arch where the ocean itself becomes a lullaby, and the quiet of the scribes becomes the quiet of your own heart. The blue glow from the archway deepens, and you step inside as though into twilight. The chamber beyond is vast, yet tender, wide as a sea cave, but filled not with echo, only with quiet that wraps around you like cloth. Here the shelves curve in spirals, winding like currents themselves. They do not rise straight, but bend, ripple, folding inward toward a calm center. You follow their curve, drifting as though carried on a gentle tide. At the heart of this spiral, a round pool opens, its surface still as polished glass. No waves stir it, no bubbles rise. Yet when you lean close, the pool does not show your reflection. It shows stories. Images drift across its surface, not sharp, but soft as dreams. A child carrying a lamp through the city before it sank. An elder teaching letters to eager hands. A sailor laying a scroll at the library's door, as offering as trust. Each picture lasts only a moment, then dissolves into ripples that leave you lighter than before. They are not burdens, they are not warning, they are gifts. Small engines the past has set afloat. You lower yourself beside the pool. The stone beneath is warm, as though it has kept the memory of countless dreamers who rested here. Lay down now, side to the earth, cheek cushioned, limbs loose. The water is close enough to hear it hum. Breathe in. The current meets you gently, carrying in the scent of salt and coral. Breathe out. The tide accepts your release, carrying every tightness away. A scroll drifts down from a shelf, though no hand has touched it. It unwinds just above your heart, lines of ink glowing faintly like embers under glass. The words are not commands, they are lullabies. Listen now. Rest is wisdom, sleep is sanctuary. The sea will hold you as the library holds its secrets. The scroll closes again, returning to its place, leaving only a calm echo behind. Around you, the spiral shelves begin to sway, as if the whole library were breathing. With each sway, your own body follows, inhaling as the shelves lean out, exhaling as they return. The effect is seamless. You are no longer separate from this place. You are a line in its story, a current in its tide. Your eyelids grow heavy now. Let them fall halfway, then lower completely. Darkness is not empty here. It is soft, full of unseen lanterns, full of breath and calm. Even as you drift, the whispers continue, not to keep you awake, but to keep you safe. They say the body may sleep, the mind may wander, the heart is always held. Time ceases to matter here. The ocean does not count minutes. The library does not mark hours. There is only the rhythm of breath, in and out, steady as the tide. Imagine now that your thoughts are pages. One by one, they loosen from their binding. One one by one, they drift upward, floating until the water carries them away. There is no need to chase them. The library has shelves enough to hold every story. You may rest with empty hands. The pool at the center brightens. Its glow is slow, steady, pulsing with the pace of sleep itself. It is a signal, an invitation to let go fully now. Breathe once more. Inhale calm, deep and kind. Exhale all effort until nothing of the day remains. The shelves quiet, the pool dims, the whispers soften into a single note, long, low, eternal. That note cradles you, steady as a lullaby. It carries you across the threshold, out of waking, into dreams. The tide has slowed now. The whispers have softened into silence. The library rests, and so do you. The spiral shelves fade into shadow, their curves remembered, not seen. The pool at the center glows faintly, like a lantern lamp for dreamers. You feel no need to rise. You feel no need to search. Everything you needed has already found you. Take one last deep breath. Draw in the hush of the sea, steady and cool. Release it slowly, like a scroll unwinding to close. Your body is heavy, sinking into warmth. Your mind is spacious, clear and wide. Your heart is light, carried gently by unseen hands. The voices of forgotten scribes linger not as words, but as calm woven through your breath. They remind you, no lecha endura, peace endures. You endure, safe within both. Now the library dims completely. The sea around you is velvet and kind. Above, no stars are needed. The glow within is enough. Let go fully now. Release every trace of waking. Allow sleep to arrive like a tide, covering the shore, steady and sure. You are safe here. You are watched over here. You are free to rest here. May your dreams be gentle. May your rest be deep. And when dawn returns, may you rise renewed, lighter, whole. For now, drift, sleep, dream, sweet dreams.